Hey, what's up, Fit Fam? We've made it to the end of December, and that means we got a whole year of strength clubs under our belt. I hope you've been enjoying the program. I've loved seeing you guys getting stronger and learning these routines as well. And now that means we get to move into the next year and start with January of 2024, which sounds crazy to say, but we're gonna go through the workout for Workout B today. And you know the setup here. We have our templates. Most of you are familiar with them. If not, we'll show you how to use them. But we're going to break this down into a few different groups, and we'll work through each group one at a time. So very similar to the other workouts we've been doing. So a couple new exercises that we've been working on, but pretty straightforward, keeping it simple to make it as effective as possible and efficient as possible as well. So, per usual, we're going to get started with our ramping here. After we do that general warm-up, we're gonna come over, get some muscles firing, get some stretching in here as well. So we're gonna start with those fucking hangs, which I know everybody loves. People keep saying, Josh, can we do it for longer than 30 seconds? We don't have enough time. But maybe you can hang out by yourself after the session and get as much in as you want. But here, focus on your breathing. Long, deep breaths. I know this isn't the most fun exercise for most people, but you will get a lot out of this. Great for the shoulders, great for the grip strength as well. Use that box and use those legs as much as you need to at any point as well. Just make sure that you're really relying on those arms to hold as much of you as you can there. We're gonna match that up here with our second exercise. So we're going to move over to the landmine bars for our landmine single leg RDLs here. So again, we're gonna keep this one light as opposed to when we have it in a strength set here. I want you to focus more on the range of motion and the skill of the exercise. It doesn't have to be heavy. We're gonna use this to get those glutes and hamstrings working here. Here, remember the inside hand holds, inside leg's the one stepping back, soft bend in that knee. It's not necessary to get all the way down to the floor. You want to go as far down as you can before that lower back starts to round here. We're going to do one set on one side for 30 seconds. We'll go back to the hangs, then we'll come back and we'll do the other side for 30 seconds here. So we're going to get one set in on each leg here. So we'll get 2 sets of those, and we're going to move on to our second group of exercises here. We're going to be starting with our anti-rotational dead bug. So we get that mid-anchored band set up. We're going to be perpendicular to the band and the beam, and then walling up those abs, pushing that leg away from you, resisting that rotation. Again, none of you haven't tried this one yet. One side is going to feel dramatically different than the other as you're working this. So take your time. Notice how Coach Lynn's really reaching with that leg. She's not rushing here. It's not about getting a bunch of reps in. Actually, the slower you move here, the more challenging this can be. When we come back, we'll face the other direction for another set. So we're going to get set in each direction. The second exercise here, we're going to be working our plank shoulder taps. So nice simple exercise. Focus on that push-up position plank first. Glutes are squeezed, abs walled up, and then pushing the ground away from you as you reach for that shoulder with the opposite arm. Focus here on getting that push in first, then move that arm here. You don't want those hips shifting on you. At any point, if you need to, you can just focus on the plank, or you can also go down to your knees, take a couple deep breaths, come back up when you're ready, but focus on that plank first, and we're just gonna add some stability, single arm stability in there as well. So we'll get 2 sets of those in, and then we're gonna move on to our power and core work here as well. So for this one, we are going to be doing our landmine pivot presses and our ladder drills. So for that landmine pivot press, remember here, we're thinking about power and speed. So again, we don't need a lot of weight on that bar. For some of you, it's not gonna be any weight at all. You don't wanna be struggling with the reps. Notice how the power here, so powerful. So powerful, I'm just kidding. But notice how I'm trying to throw that bar up. I'm using those hips. I'm pivoting on that back foot, punching that bar up as fast as you can. When you get too much weight on there, it starts to slow it down. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to exhaust the muscles. We're trying to get them all woken up. So we're gonna punch that bar as fast and as hard as we can. 5 on each side. Then we're gonna go over to our ladder drills. We're gonna go down and back on that ladder. Now you can mix it up here. We got our in, out, out. We have our Icky shuffles, our Ali shuffles. Whatever you wanna work there. If you have a question, if you need some ideas, please ask the coach. We can show you some as well. But just focus on those feet, nice light feet, fast feet here as you're moving through it. Down and back, then you're gonna give yourself 30 to 90 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes if you need it, to get your recovery before you get your second set in. We're gonna do 2 to 3 here. So again, this is one of those where some people, if they're moving a little faster and they wanna do a third, get started sooner. And you might have time to get a third in there, so we'll see how that goes. But 2 is what we're gonna, we definitely wanna get at least 2 in, possibly a third if you're moving pretty quickly here. Once we get that in, we're gonna move on to our strength training. So This month, we are working our 4-exercise strength circuit. This time we're going to be working 5 to 8 reps here. So remember, that means that if you can do 6, 7, or 8 reps, don't stop at 5. What we want to find is that heavy 5-rep weight, but we might need to use the 8 reps to find out. So it's a great gauge. If you start off this first exercise here, so we're going to start with our chin-ups. Let's say you're starting your chin-ups and you're using a 4 and a 3 and a 2 band. And then you can do 8 reps because hey, I'm not going to stop at 5. I'm going to do a 6. Oh, I can do a 7th. I can do an 8th. Hey, that's great. That means let's take one of those bands off. Let's make it a little more challenging, right? If we're doing a squat and I can do 50 pounds, then I can do 50 pounds for 8 reps. Hey, maybe I'm going to try 60 or 70 for 8 reps here. So let's get back to the chin-ups here as we're talking about them. We have our pronated grip or our chin-up grip here. So again, depends on which one you prefer. Again, you can mix it up a little bit. You can also mess around with your proper hand placement. The coaches will be there to try to help you with that as well. But focus on pulling that bar down to you, which is obviously going to pull you up toward that bar. Use as many bands as you need to. This is one where, again, I would prefer you give yourself a little bit more assistance than maybe you need so that you get that full range of motion. A lot of you like to make this challenging by really trying to go heavy, which I like that. I know that that is an awesome quality at times. For the chin-ups, you're going to get more out of them if you get intentional and make them slightly easier to get that full range of motion, and then constantly challenge yourself to make it heavier, but with that full range of motion there, okay? So I know that can be challenging at times. We'll work it out through the month, no pun intended. Our second exercise here is our cyclist squats. So we got our slant board set up here. Coach Matt here is holding that. He's demonstrating the double kettlebell front squat, which is pretty challenging here. You're welcome to give it a try. You can use the weight vest. You can use a single kettlebell for a goblet position squat, dumbbells at your sides. Anything that you want to work here, you're welcome to. Just challenge yourself. So you want to find a weight that is challenging for 5 reps. So again, don't stop. If you can do 6, 7, or 8, don't be afraid to take that weight up. Again, day to day, we're going to feel different. So we're not always sure what the right weight is, but we have that range and you can test it out a little bit as you're working there. So we got 5 to 8 cyclist squats. Then we're going down to, we're going to be working our push-ups this month. We're going to really focus these push-ups this month. We're going to focus on making them challenging. So obviously you can use the squat racks as well. Here's Coach Matt demonstrating on the blue floor. Notice how those hips are going down with him. Slightly above the floor with those hips at the bottom. Abs are walled up. Squeezing those shoulder blades. Get real intentional with this. Again, like the chin-ups. Full range of motion is going to be better than something that's heavy, but that you're compromising your form. So don't be afraid to make it a little bit easier at first and build up to what you can really do to challenge yourself. Make sure that full range of motion is there. Those muscles are going to get more out of it as well. So 5 to 8 reps there. And then our last exercise here is our sled push and drag. Now this month, this is where we want to focus on a heavier weight. So we're going to it's going to feel a little slower because we're going to be intentional with those reps. So a little bit more focus on the weight as opposed to speed here. But find a weight that's challenging. Now you should never, I don't want you to ever have to stop as you're pushing the sled. It should be heavy enough that you can push it all the way down without needing to stop. But you know, there's some leeway there. You can mix it up a little bit, see what works best for you. And then we're going to drag it back down. Again, real intentional with that drag. Staying low, toe to heel. Big proud chest as you drag that sled back here, just pushing it down, pulling it back one time, and then you're back up to those chin-ups here. So we're, again, like I said, when we're working that 5 to 8 rep range, day to day it's going to feel a little bit different, but don't be afraid to also start with like a warm-up set and then take the weight up on the second and third set, because we're going to be working 2 to 4 sets here. In the first week, usually we get maybe 2 to 3. Second, third, and fourth weeks, you should be able to get 3 sets in, possibly a 4th, depending on how you're feeling there. Again, if there's a set that you're going a little bit lighter as a warm-up, maybe you have that energy at the end to get a 4th set in. But again, day to day, week to week, we'll see how you're feeling. We can make those adjustments day to day as well. Just try to track how you're feeling, the weights you're using, and we're gonna get a lot out of those as well. And then we're gonna move on from there to our metabolic conditioning finisher here. Again, nice and simple. Echo bike and swings. Like, it doesn't get simpler than this, everybody. But this combination is pretty good. What I like, a couple things I like about it. First of all, you know we're gonna get a lot of work out of that bike. You can make it as easy as you want to or as hard as you want to, but you're still gonna be doing that work for 5 calories. And then we're gonna come over to our kettlebell swings. And you see Coach Kat here popping those hips. She's doing that dead stop swing here. So you're going to either do 5 dead stop swings, drive those heels into the floor. Notice how she gets those legs straight at the top. Glutes are squeezed, nice tall posture. Thinking about throwing that kettlebell across the room. 5 dead stop swings or 10 repetitions here. So you can see she's demonstrating those repetitions now, waiting till the last second to get those hips out of the way to really get a lot of power out of those swings. Now, I got it written down as 2 to 3 sets because you're going to need some time to recover if you're really going hard on this one. But some of you might be able to get 3 to 4 sets, and it just depends on how hard you want to work and what you're putting into the strength sets ahead of it. I'm not trying to imply that you should do 3 to 4 sets, but this combination, pretty quick. Give yourself time to recover. Let's see how many sets you can get in there, and we usually have about 10 minutes to work those sets as well. So that's just a nice kind of way to gauge how you're improving there as well. Okay. That is Workout B for January of 2024. Can you believe it, guys? If you do have any questions about anything in the videos, please reach out to the coaches, ask them in person, email us, text us, whatever you need to do. Just want to give you a little bit of a great head start, knowing what we're doing going into this month. Let's have a great year, everybody. I'm proud of all of you for the work you put in 2023. Let's keep it going in 2024. Okay? That's it. Love you. Bye.